Hello everybody, it's me, Daphne Lamb, your Thursday fictionista. Although at this rate, we'd probably say it's your every 2 to 3 week Thursday fictionista. Ooh, awkward. So things have gotten a little crazy, a little bit busy with things, but we'll get into that. In the meantime, say hello to my special guest. This is Peyton. She's not mine. She's not mine, but she keeps crawling all over stuff. So if you hear me say at some point, "Oh dear God, no," that's. So earlier this week, Sammy Jo talked about Anne Rice, one of her favorite authors, and was talking about what happens when our favorite authors write things that we're really not that excited about. So I went back into the further reaches of my mind, and I started reflecting on one of my all-time favorite authors, who is Margaret Atwood. And while there's many of her books that I've loved, there's a few that I just really haven't gone into, and I think she's wonderful. She's a wonderful, wonderful writer, and she's incredibly inventive, and she has this wonderful way of taking stories that we do know, like fairy tales or just kind of stories we just sort of take for granted, and she puts a really interesting twist on things. And she always gives us very dynamic women characters who are very complicated and very painful characters oftentimes. And yeah. So, but like I said, she's written some things that I haven't been that wild about. I was particularly disappointed, and this was one of the books where I was so looking forward to it coming out. And it was her version of the Odyssey as told from Odysseus' wife, Penelope. And it was called it's a really hard title. Pinopliad? This is what happens when none of my other friends really like Margaret Atwood. You don't know how to pronounce things. It's sad. Anyway, I was so looking forward to reading it, and then I read it. And it didn't move at the same pace as her normal works do. It didn't flow the same way, and it wasn't as engaging or intriguing as some of her other books. Wonderful idea, just the execution just didn't really do it for me. And I know a lot of other people liked it, and I just didn't. It was very labored for me, and it was very much a slow read. And when I finally did finish it, it didn't make me change what I thought about Margaret Atwood. It was just, if anything, it sort of makes you really question why you like an author. You never want to just blindly like someone, and then when you get to something and you don't like it, you think, yeah, but I like this person, so therefore I like this. It's not really the way things work, and that's not really the way you should approach reading or dissecting people's stories. An honest author would probably rather that you read it and you think through it and you understand why you like it or why you don't like it, as opposed to just getting to the end and just sort of shrugging, going, well, what's next? So, anyway, that's that. But, like I said, to me, her works are wonderful. Things like The Handmaid's Tale and The Robber Bride and The Blind Assassin, just books that I've read over and over and over. Yeah, so that being said, kittens, I wish I had one. So that being said, yeah, that sort of takes us into that. Like I said, if you have not picked up my book, The Girl's Guide to the Apocalypse, it would be nice if you did. It's gotten really great reviews, which makes me happy. Speaking of, things that, as a writer, you hope people read and really like. Yeah, so I invite you to pick up a copy. Um, Again, follow us Fictionistas on Twitter and here on YouTube. We have really exciting things. I know I say that every time, but it's really true. Um, we've got Kim, who has a book coming out, and Sammy's got a book, and Kenya does, and Kenya's family's growing, and we all, you know, I some of us get a kitten for just only a couple days, but it's those couple of days that matter. Happy reading. Pick up all of our works because they're definitely well worth it. And see you next time. Bye. Hey, Peyton. I realize maybe you haven't learned how to read yet, but who's your favorite author?